horizon for the Yellowstone universe is already underway, with the start of the famous series Sequel 1923 providing plenty of hype and excitement for Yellowstone fans. The new TV series features some pretty big names, with Harrison Ford as a Dutton ancestor, which begs fans to question if Ford discussed notes with Dutton, patriarch John Dutton III, played by Kevin Costner, and talked about their lineage. Let's take a look at why Harrison Ford didn't consult Yellowstone's Kevin Costner. Yellowstone Prequel. The highly anticipated prequel to the massively popular Western drama TV series, Yellowstone, entitled 1923, has already begun. Having premiered on December 18, 2022, on the streaming platform Paramount, with its first 3 episodes already gaining acclaim, earning a 91% approval rating so far on Rotten Tomatoes. This expansion to creator Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone universe has become quite the talk of the town, which is already distinguished by the inevitable star power of its cast. Everyone knows that Yellowstone has become the most watched drama on TV, becoming the most watched show on cable since The Walking Dead. As you may know, Yellowstone is a neo-Western drama series which follows the conflicts along the shared borders of a large cattle ranch, a native reservation, and corporate land developments, featuring the Dutton family, who owns the largest ranch in the United States. The series has since been adored for its take on the dynamics of family, as well as the drama that the family undergoes as they face challenges both from outside and within to defend their family's legacy and interests from those seeking to take control of their land. From the incessant land grabbing and the lack of media attention, the show provides a unique perspective of just how claiming land can be more than a billion-dollar business. Of course, Yellowstone's central figure, the Dutton family's patriarch, is John Dutton, played by veteran actor Kevin Costner. The show rightfully depicts the outright family drama mixed with larger-scale power plays that keep you on the edge of your seats. Wondering just how Dutton and his family can rise from their barrage of problems, this fight for survival is what made Yellowstone quite popular, with plenty of accolades and awards which the show has claimed since its first season. The interest towards the show's Western appeal has now carried over to its newest extension, the prequel to Yellowstone, 1923. The Yellowstone universe has truly expanded with the release of not just one, but 2 prequels to the highly watched TV series. 1923 is the spin-off prequel to Yellowstone, which premiered on December 18th, and 1883, a limited-run series that premiered the day after on December 19th, both streaming on Paramount. While 1883 follows the post-Civil War generation of the Dutton family as they leave Tennessee, journeying to Fort Worth, Texas, further west to Oregon, before settling in Montana to establish what would later become the Yellowstone Ranch, 1923 offers a grim look at the Dutton family's hardships, including Western expansion, Prohibition, and the Great Depression. These important events lay the foundation of drama for the show. And, as one would expect, the show is already claiming plenty of great reception. Considered as the second installment of the Dutton family origin story, the show features heavy hitters among the incredible cast. From the incomparable Harrison Ford, this generation's Dutton patriarch, Jacob, to the boundless Helen Mirren, who plays the family's matriarch, Cara Dutton. Along with Mirren and Ford, the Paramount show also includes stars Brendan Sklenar, Julia Schlafer, Jerome Flynn, Darren Mann, Brian Garrity, and Elsa Dutton actress Isabel May, who crosses over from the other Yellowstone prequel, 1883, to serve as 1923's narrator. It is also important to note how closely linked 1883 and 1923 are, considering they are merely 4 decades apart. Harrison Ford's role as Jacob Dutton is also the brother of James Dutton, portrayed by Tim McGraw in 1883. Already, the accolades have been pouring and all over social media, with shocking events and gunfire preceding the show's first few already aired episodes. One thing the fans won't run out of is the show's attention to detail and drama, with a massive budget to boot. The show's creator, Taylor Sheridan, even estimated that 1923's budget could even be bigger than the budget of Game of Thrones. Sheridan argued that while the first prequel, 1883, did become one of the most expensive first season of any TV show ever made, considering that it was made during the pandemic, he quips that 1923 was even much more expensive, considering that the show is set in the Great Western Front. You'd expect the show to have massive requirements. From acquiring 6,000 sheep to 3,000 cattle, to eventually having the production made in Africa to achieve such a grand-scale capture, you'd expect production costs to reach millions. In fact, Sheridan confessed that 1923 has a budget reaching up to $22 million per episode, with 8 episodes set for the season, amounting to more than $150 million to make the show. To provide a comparison, the budget of Game of Thrones during its first season was reported to be around $6 million per episode. It's clear that this much-awaited prequel show is significantly more expensive. This sets the bar to the expectation leading to its premiere. This attention to quality and magnitude is also what sets the Yellowstone franchise apart from other shows on stream and TV, which is why it resonates so well with audiences. Yellowstone is an example of a genre done great by tweaking and updating the Western perspective, which on its own has a huge audience, to provide a more interesting take for modern viewers. It's also a big help to these new prequels that the Yellowstone universe on the whole already has some next-level stars among its cast, from Kevin Costner, Tim McGraw, Harrison Ford, and Helen Mirren. One thing's for sure, though, audiences have quite an appetite for Taylor Sheridan's stories, with 1923 already delivering Paramount's most-watched premiere in the U.S., rising above the platform's most streamed shows by almost 80%. The show garnered a total of 7.4 million total viewers during its premiere, adding to the powerhouse that is the Yellowstone universe. The Yellowstone universe heavy hitters. The one thing that speaks about the expanded Yellowstone universe is the story of the Dutton family, with a perspective of their patriarchs and matriarchs who face hell or high water to protect the Dutton family interest and legacy. While 1883 shows how the Duttons came to own the land that would become the Yellowstone Ranch, 1923 shows the struggles that the Duttons have to face in order to solidify their claim over their land. Much like the original series Yellowstone, in which the main patriarch, Don Dutton III, played by Kevin Costner, faces challenges from those who seek to take control of the ranch's land. Much of the dilemma of the Dutton family lies within the land they call their own. And as 1923 marks the second chapter of the Dutton legacy, people are already wondering whether these patriarchs have built a learning about the Dutton lineage which they will have in common. For 1923's Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren themselves, who both star as Jacob and Cara Dutton, ancestors of Kevin Costner's John Dutton, playing a married couple who manage a meager family farm that will eventually become the famous Dutton Ranch. It seems that the prequel story they've been developing isn't entirely fitting with the Yellowstone story in a way that is necessary for them to consult with Costner's Dutton family. Despite being their literal ancestors on the show, this Yellowstone prequel shows the survival of the Dutton family in Montana at the time of Western expansion in a post-World War I time period as the family deals with Prohibition and the coming Great Depression. And while Harrison Ford may be a huge movie star, stepping into the Yellowstone universe was a huge challenge for Ford, who has never really accepted any TV gigs since his acting career started in the 1960s. Despite this challenge, Ford took the role without having to consult nor ask for any words of wisdom from the Yellowstone patriarch Kevin Costner. During the 1923 premiere, Harrison Ford told media that while he has nothing but respect for Costner and the original Yellowstone series, he intends to create his impressions with his role as Jacob Dutton, saying, "I respect Kevin enormously and his body of work and everything he's done and the work he's doing in Yellowstone. But I'm on my own path. We hadn't had the chance to catch up, but I'm looking forward to it." On the other hand, Helen Mirren was blunter when asked the same question, saying, "No, I haven't spoken to Kevin. Actually, I don't know him. Maybe we'll get together one of these days." Both Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren claimed that it was Sheridan's writing that reeled them in to accept their respective roles, as they both have a keen passion for history, especially the American West. Well, everyone is wondering whether the Yellowstone universe actors would somehow have a crossover. It's meager to think that they would, considering that the 3 stories are founded in hugely gapped timeline, and with yet another planned spin-off well underway, titled 6666, which is set in the present day on the Four Sixes Ranch in Texas, Yellowstone fans will surely have their fill of family drama, cowboy hats, and fast-drawn hands. So what do you think about why Harrison Ford didn't consult with Kevin Costner?